Howdy, folks. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown of February 19th, 2022. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury. This is a special Saturday break-in because I'm busy tomorrow and next Sunday, so this is our last episode for a week. No, 2 weeks. So get ready, strap in. We're talking Cody Rhodes and his unceremonious departure from AEW. Got a couple of legendary stories, and of course, our recap of today's Elimination Chamber, which is just great. Let's start with the big news that hit.
He ain't even going to ask me how I'm doing on this Saturday.
Oh, you know what? I did not, Luke.
How dare you break from the
doing this?
How
Saturday?
you do me like that, bro?
You didn't do it like that, bro. He's a little, bro.
I've been better sinus
hopping on that north.
but I'm good.
Oh,
Did I just have an aneurysm in the guitar right here?
Max, how was your Saturday?
Well, I was doing good until you're like being all rude and just not even going to say hi to us or anything. Like, what the hell? Like, no, I'm doing good. Yesterday, I went down to Atlanta and I went fishing.
I regret having asked.
With Robert Duvall and he built me a race car.
Get the hell out of my studio.
And then I had this big wreck, and it was crazy. And I was in a wheelchair, and I'm not full of shit. I'm doing good.
He just alienated 6 different kinds of people. And
Who hired him?
He just emailed us here when we moved in.
All right,
He's
so
like the dude on the couch from Half Baked.
the biggest news of the week.
You want to know?
Jesus. We have a show today. Got it together. The biggest news of the week is obviously Cody Rhodes parting ways with AEW.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes, one of the founders of AEW, one of the executive vice presidents of the company. Quite frankly and legitimately, the reason AEW was founded started on Cody Rhodes' shoulders. To give a brief history of that, for those of you who may be unaware, 2017 or 2018, Dave Meltzer tweeted something along the lines of, "Nobody outside of the WWE can ever sell out a 10,000-person arena domestically." To which Cody Rhodes responded, "Okay, bet."
Hold my beer.
Yeah. So he, along with the Young Bucks and Ring of Honor, pulled together an entirely independent show funded by themselves called All In.
Where your main event was for the NWA 10 pounds of gold.
No, that was the semi-main event. The actual main event featured the Young Bucks against
that's right.
2 other guys.
Like I said, the main event was
But the
for
real main event was
NWA.
Cody Rhodes versus Nick
Yeah.
Aldis for the NWA title. Anyway, it was after that show's success and the fact that they tethered Chris Jericho along because All In had planned on being Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Cruise followed All In. And it was supposed to have panned itself as a sequel to All In, to where the two of them could use them in a tandem operation. And it was after the success of both events that Tony Khan stepped in, offered, $100 million and an infrastructure, and created the groundwork for All Elite Wrestling.
Here's $100 million of my daddy's money.
Yeah. So without Cody Rhodes, there would be no AEW. And that's a very important establishing fact. Yeah. Cody Rhodes had said in the media numerous times what his vision for AEW was supposed to be, what he wanted to be, and that he would never leave. And now, due to a number of reports that all institute different ideals, we see now Cody Rhodes has departed ways with AEW.
Well, here's the deal. It was coming eventually.
Yeah.
When Brandy Rhodes goes on Twitter when there's a new AEW product, and she's like, neither me nor Cody have our hands in this.
Yeah.
So people will watch it.
Yeah.
He no longer needs to be part of your broadcast.
Yeah.
He's hurting your product. Now, that could also be a determining factor in him leaving.
Yeah.
Him being, I have so much love for this promotion that the mere fact of me being here causes a problem that I won't be here.
Yeah. And
it's noble.
Yeah. Well, and of course, so many reports have surfaced. One of the disputes is Cody Rhodes wanted to make more money, and Tony Khan didn't pay because they wanted to tighten the purse strings, so they turned a profit this year. One of the reports is Cody Rhodes felt frustrated with the direction of the company. One of the reports is there was no problem with Cody at all, that it was about Brandy's station. So many different things. We're never really going to know the truth until one party comes out forward and tells the full truth.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Regardless of politics, I heard that he fell out of good graces with the rest of the EVPs. Yeah. There's a lot of rumors going on.
Yeah.
The messed up part is honestly, it's the stupidest part of Dynamite for the last 6 months. But Brandy Rhodes and Dan Lambert alone made those segments so fun for me to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Because no matter how hard she tried to hit him with something, he always had the proverbial
right comeback. Yeah.
The proverbial okie doke in getting one more up on her. And now they've just got to completely downplay it as if it's over now.
Well, and of course, now the big question is, does Cody go to WWE? Obviously, once again, some people report yes, some people report no. We don't know yet. But that's part of the fun of speculating. And I had this thought yesterday. Everyone talks about how the fact that the WWE doesn't view AEW as competition.
Correct.
If they sign Cody Rhodes, it means they acknowledge that AEW is competition.
Me and Maximus actually had this conversation as well. Because here's the deal. Okay. First off, you could go that route with the whole AEW as a competition.
Yeah.
Or you could go the other route, which is Cody Rhodes could convince Vince McMahon that he was a big enough star to not be Stardust.
Yeah.
When he left, I don't see Vince McMahon seeing that much more stock in Cody Rhodes, even now, other than the fact that he's the face of AEW.
Hold on. He left the WWE, he became NWA World Champion.
That's my point.
Became Ring of Honor World Champion.
And agree. But at the same time, everyone knows Vince McMahon, and those titles aren't Vince McMahon's titles, and he didn't get that notoriety because of Vince McMahon. We know how he buries people from different companies.
That's true.
For less than that. Look at Monty Brown.
Marcus Corvon.
Seriously. Look at Monty Brown. Look at James Storm's short run that he was there that should have made him a star. Look at Adam Cole, the wasted potential with Keith Lee.
Chris
Harris. Samoa Joe. All these guys.
Samoa Joe is definitely big on the list of WWE misuse.
Christopher Daniels not bringing him in as the higher power when they should have.
Well, that one's arguable.
Frankie Kazarian. I mean, there's several different talents that the WWE has had an opportunity to do something, but they didn't.
Hold on, just having the opportunity is taking the right. Having the opportunity to do something with and misusing the talent are two different things.
True.
The WWE misused Samoa Joe.
Yes.
So
Monty Brown
not having utilized, Monty Brown also, but not having utilized Frankie Kazarian when he was only there in a couple of developmental shots or televised taping shots. That's a little bit different. That's just saying we had a really talented guy roll through.
But you get what I'm saying. Yes. People from other companies don't make it in Vince's world unless A, you're the cream of the crop in the top names, or B, you're created there.
True.
And a name value of some sort.
But on that argument alone, when Drew McIntyre left, he proved himself and came back as a megastar.
Yes, but when Drew McIntyre came back, he also climbed through NXT, learned how to put together the WWE style.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying he didn't work for it. I'm just
saying.
Also,
look at the change in his body type. He was more Vince McMahon style.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Vince McMahon wants the big, beefy, muscular guys. Drew McIntyre, his first time there, was not muscular at all.
But if you're looking for something that physically matches what Vince's approach to wrestling is, Cody Rhodes is well on the line of being what a traditional Vince guy would look like.
Biggest problem Cody Rhodes has with Vince McMahon,
is that he's Dusty Son.
Is the fact that his last name is Rhodes.
Yeah, 100%. Either way, the speculation part of it is fun because none of us know where Cody's going to end up. He could show up on Raw tomorrow or Raw Monday night.
Well, you show up on Impact. You show up at Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor, their big rebirth.
It's very similar.
Show up in your dreams.
He can bring cotton candy in the corner. He can do anything.
Your American nightmares.
Also, you have to look.
That'd be kind of creepy.
We have to get into another story that we weren't going to touch just yet. Adam Shear and EC3 putting their federation together.
Yeah.
He could show up there. Bray Wyatt can show up there. I mean, it just
is going to be the litany, the who's of everyone you didn't want to book. Everyone who got canceled in 2020 and 2021.
So, McHammer Fist might join,
It's going to be them, Teddy Hart, Low Key, Austin Aries, Flip Gordon.
Davey, my favorite rascal was Spanky.
Brian Kendrick will be the world champion.
He will.
As soon as the aliens get done.
Yeah, once the people in the middle of the earth decide to find out how to get out. Fucking weirdo.
But yeah, Tony Khan made a wonderful statement. Cody and Brandy both made wonderful statements touting, their mutual love and respect for each other. Tony Khan was very gracious. Thanked Cody and Brandy for everything they did in their positions.
Mentioned that it wasn't ideal of the way that he wanted it to take place, but because it had, thank you.
So
that's
now
what you do it.
Now we play the waiting game.
now we
get
do
to
play
see
the waiting
where
game.
Cody Rhodes reappears. If he does, how he might decide to pursue his acting or pursue something else.
Yeah.
Brandy has some notches under her belt now in the corporate world. She can get a job doing something similar to the position she had before. So we may never see them again.
She could also be used very well in WWE. Everyone knows who she is.
Yeah. So that being said, that was the story that knocked this story off the front page, which is the fact that the WWE has tapped potentially Stone Cold Steve Austin for a return match at this year's WrestleMania in Houston against Kevin Owens, and B, Shawn Michaels in a return match against AJ Styles at this year's WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
Stone Cold's last in-ring professional wrestling match was against The Rock at WrestleMania in 2003. The man has been retired
18 years.
18 years, almost 2 decades out of the ring. You have WrestleMania in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
What bigger name could you possibly grab in Texas other than Stone Cold Steve Austin? Here's the deal. Stone Cold Steve Austin could wrestle Harvey Whippleman at this year's WrestleMania, and it's going to sell tickets.
Well, and really, it's just going to be your greatest hits. You know what I mean? It's going to be the Stunner. It's going to be the Thesz Press.
And here's the deal.
The Stop in the Mud Hole. It doesn't have to be.
It's going to be the Viper versus.
It doesn't have to be a 29-minute classic to get the money's worth out of Stone
You're putting
Cold.
him in with Kevin Owens, who also uses the Stunner.
Yeah, who's also stomping the mud.
It's Stunner versus Stunner is what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I would have rather it been Goldberg and Austin, but
give it time. Saudi Arabia's coming around again.
And then you look at the other half of that, which will be the second night, which is reaching again, other than Austin in Texas, other than Michaels.
Yeah.
And then you take AJ Styles, a man who has been compared to be the modern day Shawn Michaels for the last 10 years.
But as I stated before, the last time someone challenged Shawn Michaels to show up at the Alamo, he refused. You remember.
AJ Styles. You remember. Thank you. AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, in my mind, is a dream match for a lot of people. But one of mine.
There's only one match that I'd like to see Shawn Michaels have more if he came back.
Yeah, Sting.
No.
Yeah,
don't
Sting.
say it.
Ooh, yeah, Dolph would be good.
That would be the one that I would. Not to say that I don't want Michaels and AJ, but Michaels and Dolph would be just as satisfying.
Now, a couple of years ago, they had talked about Michaels and AJ at Mania.
Yes.
33, I think.
Yes.
That's right, 33. And both of them had come to the conclusion, we can have the match, but what will be the point?
Right. What does it do for you if you beat a 60-year-old man?
If you beat me, it's because I wasn't in my prime. If I beat you,
then you just lost to a 60-year-old
You just lost to a 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
However, with the recent
financial obligation,
with the recent transformation of Michaels' body, Michaels is in the best shape of his entire life right now. And also he's been in the ring training these young kids 6 days a week.
He's just bald now.
AJ Styles just happens to go to NXT. No, he grew his hair back. He's got hair. He's got hair about
some hair back in.
AJ Styles just went to NXT to wrestle the guy he wrestled there.
Yeah.
What better way to have them meet with each other at the Performance Center and be like, this is what we can do. This is what we can't do.
Yeah.
AJ was there for almost a month. He did 3 tapings for NXT. That's enough to put together a match.
100%.
And here's the deal. You don't need a lot.
No.
Again, with Austin, it'll be the same thing with Michaels. There'll be greatest hits of both men.
Yep.
Both come off the top. Somebody's going to dive to the floor.
Yep.
AJ's going to go for the phenomenal forearm. He's going to get super kicked.
Yeah.
I can call that match right now. That's how that's going to end.
Yeah.
It's simple. We all know that's what's going to happen. However, I really want to see it.
Yeah. I'm 100% invested.
And here's the deal: if I can get one of those two matches, I'll be happy.
Yeah, the fact that I could possibly get both is just icing on the cake.
2 nights in a row.
And now, speaking of WrestleMania in Houston, we got to talk about the big news that came out yesterday. Formally announced, The Undertaker will be inducted into the 2022 WWE Hall of Fame.
Which means that this is the end of an era.
Yep.
After being inducted into the Hall of Fame, there's nothing more for The Undertaker to do.
No, he's done it all.
The proverbial right off into the sunset. Yep. He'll never have to be tapped again.
Nope.
Not against his own wishes.
He's still on the 20-year deal, so he's going to make a ton of money just staying at home. His legacy secure.
Making appearances, signing autographs. Period. All he's got to do.
For those of us...
Movies. He's still young enough to where he can still be legitimate in Hollywood.
Get into some...
he is an actor. He did do Suburban Commando, so he has a SAG card.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that there is no better. They say it all the time. There's no better gimmick than The Undertaker. The Undertaker is the greatest character
ever made.
History of professional wrestling.
Yep.
What better way than to his last moment be at the Hall of Fame? But here's the deal: if you're going to induct him, once the show's over, leave him alone.
Yeah.
He don't need to be brought up anymore. Nope. Let him ride off into the sunset. Let Mark Calloway have a life.
Yeah. Let him go raise his kid.
Who's going to be a great fucking wrestling champion in 12 years' time? Anyway.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's surreal to think that while he's been there since Raw began.
Him and Shawn Michaels were the only two wrestlers.
He's been a part of the company since
first Raw.
Since before some WWE superstars right now were ever even alive. And that's crazy to think about. There are 24, 25-year-olds who wrestle for the WWE currently, and The Undertaker's been there longer than they've been on the planet.
There's some of those really, really young wrestlers that The Undertaker was around when their parents were young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's insane to think that it's been 30-year career just in the WWE.
Yeah.
Now, we're not counting the years he wasn't in the WWE.
The years he was part of the territory system.
Later half of 35 to 40 years in the business. No one knows anything better than The Undertaker.
There's no argument that can be made.
Him being in the Hall of Fame, it was the right call. I just hope that they put him in the right way.
Yeah, and it's more than deserved. From a super fan of The Undertaker, one of the reasons I got into this. They haven't announced yet. The idea is working in the water right now is that it's going to be a litany of people collectively that would come up each and tell an anecdote about. Instead of doing multiple inductees throughout the ceremony, the current idea is to have multiple people come up and make testimonies about The Undertaker, and that it would just be The Undertaker going in this year.
But now they've said that he's inducted into the class.
Yes,
so there has to be.
So there has to be an inductee, another induct. Why not Kane if you're going to induct Taker?
Well, Kane was. You mean to induct The Undertaker? Because I was Kane won it last year.
Yeah.
Michaels,
Kane, Michaels, Triple H.
Vince. Kane went in before Taker.
Well, Taker was going to hold out. I mean, he's a class unto himself.
Wrestlers who usually go into the Hall of Fame are done.
Not Edge.
Edge was when he went into the Hall of Fame.
He was like, no, I want to get my neck broke again.
Same thing with Michaels. When he went into the Hall of Fame, he was retiring that week.
The only reason he came out was because of
Saudi money.
Because of Saudi money, because of all the ducats that he was offered.
Yeah, Saudi money. And it was one of his biggest regrets.
Yeah.
He was like, I should have just stayed retired. The match was terrible. Triple H got hurt. Kane got unmasked.
Shit happens, dog.
Shawn Michaels pins Kane with the super kick. I mean,
Ted DiBiase could be another possible to induct Taker.
Yeah,
he was their brother love.
Bruce Pritchard,
El Bruso, the Artful Dodger.
Vince himself.
Vince himself should be.
Vince should be the last man.
Vince should absolutely be the voice, the finality of his induction.
Here's the deal. But Vince, if you ask me, already gave him his induction speech.
Yeah.
When they retired him at Survivor Series and Vince come out and did that long speech and started getting emotional and stuff and introduced The Undertaker for his last hoorah or whatever it was. Honestly, he should have left then.
Yeah.
Just off into the sunset. You don't need a Hall of Fame induction. You're the Undertaker. But you're bigger than the Hall of Fame.
But now you get the send-off with fans and the stuff that you didn't get by not having it there for the Hall of Fame.
True. Well, here's the deal.
Plus,
it was in an empty arena.
And it's in the perfect vicinity. It's in Texas. It's in the perfect place. If we're going to get, Thursday, if we're going to get the first night being his induction, and then we get Austin, and then we get Michaels,
here's the
Texas wins all of them.
If it's up to the Undertaker, now I would expect he would pick Kane or Vince.
Or Mick Foley.
However, the Godfather and him have been best friends for years.
Yeah, the Godfather is well.
The Godfather inducting the Undertaker wouldn't be too far off.
No.
I mean, he come to the show for the whole Undertaker coming out and retiring.
Any member of the backstage crew that's still alive, really.
He's the only one. Rikishi.
Yeah, Rikishi.
I think is the only one that's.
Yeah, I think it's just those three.
Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah. Bradshaw.
Yeah,
Bradshaw could induct him, yeah. Either way, Taker's going in. Obviously well-deserved. There's not one person who will ever contest that.
If you really want it, let Hogan do it.
No.
Hogan made The Undertaker.
Fuck him. No. And then he buried him the very next day.
Yeah, but The Undertaker's been rising from the dead and burying people for years. See, everybody talks about Triple H burying people. The Undertaker's been burying people for years.
Literally. Yeah. All right, so
I'm trying to okey doke be strong.
We've talked about Cody Rhodes departing from AEW.
Uh-huh.
We've talked about the Legends possibilities returning at this year's Mania, and we've talked about Taker's WrestleMania induction or Hall of Fame induction. I guess we should talk about the Elimination Chamber. Shall we?
Sure.
Where do we want? Well, let's start with the beginning. Roman Reigns wrestled Goldberg in what can only be described as a very good short match. Goldberg didn't make any botches. They fought on the outside. They played to their strengths, and Roman went over with a chokehold, which was unexpected, and it was a good match.
It summed up what it needed to sum up, and
it told the story it needed to tell.
And here's the deal: a match that they built on the spear versus the spear ended in a chokehold.
Yeah, and Goldberg hit 2 spears. Roman Reigns didn't hit one, which is
not
great.
One. Yeah. Because here's the deal. Honestly, I think that's creative control, and I think that's Goldberg saying, I don't want to be pinned after being hit with the spear.
Yeah, which, hey.
Well, I mean, honestly, I would rather be choked out.
Yeah, I'd rather you look even stronger
than
hit me with my own move.
Yeah.
The Saudi crowd was fucking all over Roman. They loved everything he did. The Saudi crowd was hot for
in the beginning was great.
Yeah. All in all, great short little match. They
Roman over with a choke. Out of 5, I give it 4.5.
Yeah, I'd give it 4.5 because it was never going to be a technical clinic. Once again, this is a Goldberg match. But what they did
it was more than I thought it would be.
What they didn't do was put Goldberg in a position to fail.
I would be remiss not to mention the fact that Goldberg is in the best shape.
Jesus Christ!
Life.
Yeah, and all of you internet nerds who want to talk about his age, you will never look as good as he looks at his age that he's at. So check your shit. So what was after that? Was that the women's?
We moved on to the women's elimination chamber.
Okay, all in all, really not a bad match.
No, built well.
Built well. Only really 1 or 2 stalled spots. Everybody got their shit in. The women's strikes in the chamber, especially, were on point.
Alexa Bliss was over huge.
Yeah, all of their gimmicks looked great. They were all wearing full form suits because of the Saudi Arabia, women's disclosure rules and policies. Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing, wrong equation here.
We don't know exactly what the rule is.
They have to keep their bodies covered, and they did well. They did so in gimmick. They weren't just wearing T-shirts over there themselves. They look great.
Yeah, unlike the days of the past where they wore their own wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
They literally gimmicked.
Yeah, and they
all of their outfits. It was perfect. Rhea Ripley had the neatest, simplest black tights jumpsuit, but it looked so clean.
Yeah.
We'll get into the other one here in a minute. Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair finished the chamber strong.
By the way, Alexa Bliss was on fire for this match.
Here's the deal. When Bianca Belair hit that split-legged perfect play, for lack of a better term, the crowd booed.
Yeah,
they wanted
Bliss to win.
Who doesn't? She returned out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Alexa Bliss. She's the most over diva you've ever had, ever.
Yeah.
I would have been upset too, but I get what they did.
Yeah, so do I. But yeah, no, the women's chamber match killed it. It was refreshing to see a multiple woman match televised, not only early enough in the card where I'm not burnt out to watch it, but exciting enough to keep me engaged all the way through.
I give it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I give it also
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. 100%.
Of course, Bianca Belair now going to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Very next match on the card was Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
With one hand tied behind her back and a tag team partner in Naomi against Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair. We were talking about classy outfits.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair's plain red
Looked fantastic.
I could have done it without the silver ring.
See, I liked that was the only flashy touch.
But very nice. Ronda Rousey coming out in the gi and
And
no makeup.
No makeup, looked just like a straight up judoka.
And here's
looked
the
like
deal.
a badass.
There was a point in this match.
There were some miscommunications or missteps. Something went awry.
It looked like some real good, stiff, real punches
Shots
were
from
thrown.
Charlotte.
To the point where you kind of had to wonder.
Yeah,
She better hope to God she knocks Ronda Rousey out and
Yeah,
she don't get back to her
yeah.
feet.
Like
You better give your ass to God, or give your soul to God, because your ass is wrong.
Probably the only match that I could have done without.
No, there's one more match I could have done without.
All in all, though, I mean,
I give it like a 2.
I give it a 2. Yeah,
It was a space filler. It was kind of obvious that
it
Sonya
did what it needed to do.
Ronda Rousey again looked like a badass. Had that nice little start out with Charlotte, but it wasn't that much to write home about.
Right.
Then what? Then was it the women's championship match?
No.
What
No,
came
then
next?
we went into a false count anywhere match.
Ah, yes.
Madcap Moss versus Drew McIntyre.
In which Drew McIntyre attempted to commit felonious assault and manslaughter by swinging a sword as hard as he could.
All
Baron
along.
Corbin's head.
Here's the deal. Wow, that was wild. That we almost had a beheading in Saudi Arabia. How quaint.
They're used to it.
The main thing for me was the reverse Alabama slam where he dropped
But damn near killed Madcap Moss.
flat on the top of that man's head.
On the dome. Off the
And
top
I
of
don't
the
know
dome.
if it was an over rotation or if Moss didn't look up.
So,
I don't know.
I
exactly
think
what
he's so
happened.
used to tucking his chin.
And
That's what it looked
what
like.
he should have done.
What
What he should have done was flatten out.
Yeah.
And take it like a pancake.
Here's the deal. The same bump, AJ Styles with his Styles Clash, has hurt so many. That move has hurt so many people because when you go, you're supposed to look up.
Yes, and
You're so used to tucking
looking
your
down.
chin
Yeah.
that they tend to come down on the back of their heads and shit. That was just his mistake. Instead of looking up and taking a flat bump,
But man,
he looked downward, right on his
It
neck.
looked like he broke his neck.
Yeah.
On back.
If he
Kudos to
didn't have
him
his-
for getting up and finishing the fucking match.
Yeah, if he didn't have that the muscles in his neck and shit, it should have broke his neck.
Yeah.
And on that and the sword play alone, I give that match a 3.
I give it a 3. Solid 3. It was entertaining. Drew McIntyre looked great, and he almost killed Baron Corbin. Straight up. I'm telling you, there's some auditor from the FCC who shit his pants
on
after this whole
that note
people.
alone, you should get a 3.5.
I'm gonna stick with the 3.
I'm gonna go with the 3.
All right.
They're lucky to get the 3.
Yeah. So is next then the women's championship match between Becky and Lita.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
Wow.
This match was a train wreck from beginning to end.
Lita was off her game.
Derailed.
That's just all there is to it. Lita
Becky wasn't just off her game; she wasn't even on the field.
Becky tried everything she could to slow her down, to get in sync with her. I mean, Becky was working her ass off.
Terrible.
Lita was just not there.
Here's the deal: just because a doctor tells you can get back in the ring
Doesn't mean you can get back in the ring.
doesn't mean you have any business in a ring.
And boy,
She honestly looked like she had done no preparation,
she just looked off.
nothing, no
Looked
training or anything.
off the whole time.
Like
She's
she said,
lucky
yeah,
that-
I can do this. I don't need to practice.
Well, I mean,
or anything."
even physically, like she didn't look as like. Well, yes, Coletta says in the chat it was like watching a whole different person work. You're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she was physically like fit, prepared.
Yeah.
It literally
that's what I mean.
reminded.
Yeah.
Here's the deal: it reminds you that originally they were planning for her and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if she'd have messed up spots in a match with Charlotte Flair,
she'd have never wrestled in the WWE.
Well, Charlotte Flair would have had a high-speed come apart like she did on Ronda earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Except this time she'd have done it to somebody who's a legit pro and legend, and Charlotte Flair would be up shit's creek. Lita has no business being in a wrestling ring.
Not right now, she doesn't.
Not anymore. Not without some severe
conditioning and knocking off some of that ring rust.
Being in a Royal Rumble does not constitute having a 16-minute match.
No, it was a bad match, and it wasn't Becky's fault.
That match was about 25 minutes too long of a 26-minute match.
That's what kind of ring rust that just wears off. You got to take a freaking grind.
You got to,
Uh-huh.
you got to spit shine that shit.
And she's lucky that Becky Lynch is so good at what she does.
Yeah.
That she made it somewhat watchable.
Yeah. And Lita did do a couple of things right. I mean, we're not saying it was entirely all bad. But
she fired up towards about midway through the match and got
near the end. She was really starting to get into a rhythm, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, the match had already been.
Yeah. All right.
I give that a 1.5.
Yeah, that's generous.
That's being kind. That's because I still love Lita regardless of what kind of ring shape she's in.
Let's talk about this. This year Elimination Chamber main event.
Well, hold on. We get a Viking Raider entrance for the tag team title match, to which the Usos jump the Viking Raiders before the match starts, and we don't get the tag team title match.
Yeah, but I think it was cut for time.
Well, we have to mention that because that is in the point difference for our stuff.
Yeah.
Again, if you didn't watch the video last week, we
good.
called the same stuff, points in the same way.
Yeah.
To be honest, we didn't call a whole lot great on this past pay-per-view.
So the Elimination Chamber featured AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar, all for a shot at Bobby Lashley's Universal title?
WWE Championship.
WWE Championship.
Raw title.
The Raw title, yeah.
The black belt.
Austin Theory and Seth Rollins start the match out. And they do a nice beginning exchange. Seth hits a sling blade early. Yep. Austin hits the second shit slam. They have a really good working exchange. Rollins takes Austin Theory up for the buckle bomb on the outside of the ring near Bobby Lashley's cage door.
Where
the glass meets the steel barricade. Tosses him into it, and the glass basically breaks off against Bobby Lashley, knocking them both over.
Glass doesn't shatter. It literally pops out and crushes Bobby Lashley into the back.
So before Lashley can even get into the match, Lashley's removed from the match due to injury. Then we get into AJ Styles gets in, Riddle gets in, then AJ Styles gets in. And these four really fucking burn it down, really work hard. And then Brock Lesnar just punches the glass, steps through, and rains hell down on fucking everybody.
Here's the deal. Lashley, whether it's a work or whether it's not, goes out early. We're guaranteed a new champion.
Yeah.
Keeps the champ keeps Lashley strong.
Yeah.
So that way, there's no pinfall for Lashley.
Yep.
We see Lesnar like a ball of fire tear through everybody, just like you figured he would.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said earlier, he's the shape he is. The size of the guy he is.
Somebody on Twitter said something like, "Oh, I hate when great wrestlers are in the ring with Lesnar because they all look like crap." That's not the case.
No.
Brock Lesnar is 6'3" and 280 pounds. He is the size of a full-grown Kodiak black bear and has the temperament to match. Matt Riddle's a great wrestler. AJ Styles is a phenomenal wrestler. Not to coin the phrase too much.
AJ Styles is the best wrestler in that match.
Also, both roughly 200 pounds and 5'11".
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar was always going to eat them alive.
Now,
that's physics.
Let's get to my favorite part of this match.
All right, so Lesnar F5s everybody except Austin Theory. Everybody is gone now.
He's pinned everybody.
Lesnar and Austin Theory have a cute little fucking stare down. Lesnar goes to chase Austin Theory around. Austin Theory manages to cut Lesnar off with a low blow.
And when I say low blow, it's like he reached into his colon. He hit him so deep.
I mentioned that Lesnar's the size of a full-grown Kodiak black bear.
Yeah.
Imagine hitting one of them with a slingshot and a marble in the eye. It's not going to do much to slow them down or hurt them, but it's really going to piss them off.
especially when you have nowhere to go. Like, there's no escape.
So then Lesnar just started the ass beating of a lifetime. Eventually, Austin Theory breaks away, manages to climb all the way up to the cage, and is escaping.
Yeah,
but Lesnar, with his freakish genetic skill, and if you watch back, he leapt off the ground 5 feet onto the steel, and then started climbing. Like I said, when we were watching fucking King Kong.
Well, he's used to doing that up on the apron jump from the floor. So.
Catches Austin Theory, drags him down to the top of one of the cages, where there is a plexiglass wall.
Well, hold on. Before we get to this, we cut a part out.
Okay.
The chasing of Austin Theory into the pod. Austin Theory turns around, shuts the pod. Brock Lesnar kicks
through the fucking pod.
And Austin Theory had to make that sound. There's no way he couldn't.
Yeah.
It would have been in my nightmares for years.
The hilarious part was it looked like it didn't take Lesnar any effort at all to break his pod. And Austin Theory really thought, I'm going to be safe. Go the fuck up now!
Anyway, the whole just Lesnar climbing over the top of Austin Theory is fantastic.
Drags him back down to this fucking top of the cage. Now they're about 20 feet in the air. And there's this plexiglass wall, and Lesnar grabs Austin Theory's head and just starts bashing it against this breakable. It's clear. It's proven breakable.
I thought I saw.
Yeah, no amount of glass in that entire thing was not breakable.
Just bashing this poor fucking kid's head into it like he owed him money.
As he hit it the third time, Max mentioned to us, he's like, I could have swore I saw that glass spider, like it had shattered.
So then, Lesnar hoofs Austin Theory up to the fireman's carry position and okey-dokes that motherfucker 12 feet in the fucking ground. Just straight to the ground, F5.
One of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen.
As we were all watching, we were like, no, he's fucking not.
In the center of the ring, we're like, there was an almost soft spot with
no,
like,
straight,
no, you gotta be over
straight down to the hard floor of the Elimination Chamber contest.
And here's the deal. I just can't imagine. First off, what it would look like through Austin Theory's eyes.
Yeah.
First off. Second off, man, he's real lucky he grabbed a hold of the side of that cage on the way down. Otherwise, he'd have come down all kinds of madcap moss. It would have been messed up.
Luck is not even the word to use, I don't believe.
No.
He didn't have to do it like that, bro.
You got to be like that, bro.
You have to do that little guy, bro.
Bro,
he just little, bro. Bro, you been here messing with kids, bro. My mama key back, bro.
The children watching this show, bro.
Kids at home, bro. Goddamn.
Brock Lesnar don't give a damn about Heath Slater's kids.
Okie doke, Austin Theory, like gravity existed.
He's right.
Drug him into the ring, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar is your WWE World Champion.
For the 10th time.
Which, needs to be referenced here. Brock Lesnar loses the WWE title at the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Wins the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
To get a shot at Mania.
Yes.
Then gets himself into the Elimination Chamber just to win his own belt back.
Yes.
He never had to lose the Rumble, and we'd still have the same exact result as if he would have won.
Not necessarily.
Or, I'm sorry, never would have had to lose his championship, and we'd still have the same result.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this guarantees that he gets to main event WrestleMania.
He was already going to as a
No. I see what he's saying. Not always does the guy who wins the Royal Rumble ever get to main event.
Well, no.
Hold on. When there's both titles in one match of a main event, you're guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking more like having the belt doesn't matter because winning the Royal Rumble, he gets the main event, everything. If he had just had the belt, it doesn't guarantee a main event spot.
No, him winning the Royal Rumble with the belt already guaranteed him the title shot against the other champion. That's a guaranteed main event. He had a guaranteed main event.
That's what he's saying. Where somehow it's crossing. But he's saying exactly what you're saying. Is different.
The words are clearly not the same.
What are you trying to say here?
Yeah, I'm not.
Him winning the Rumble never. No, him winning the Rumble didn't.
Having the belt doesn't guarantee a main event spot.
Right.
For WrestleMania.
That's why when he won the Royal
Rumble,
he guaranteed himself.
Right, guarantees that spot. That's why it does matter.
I already said that. I'm saying he could have. No. That's not what I said. Listen to what I'm saying now. He never had to lose his championship at the Royal Rumble to have won the Royal Rumble and end up here in the first place.
Oh, what you're saying is he didn't have to drop
as champion.
But
and
got
got
a
the
story.
Oh, it doesn't. They dragged it. We knew it was going to happen.
Well, okay, first off,
argue with you either way, so just.
I mean, that's fine, but you're wrong.
Hold on. Now,
But most things. Look at your life.
now hold on. Technically, you're right. Technically, this is the Indiana Jones and the Raiders argument.
Yes, Indiana Jones never had to do anything. It would have been the exact same way.
It would have fallen the exact same way because here's the deal. Even though Brock Lesnar did lose the championship to Bobby Lashley never technically lost the title.
That's
so therefore, Brock technically was the champ throughout the elimination.
See, and that's the other thing, too. If it doesn't work, I don't know what the fuck their plan is.
I don't either.
But them having had Lesnar drop the belt to Lashley in the first place, even if it was to just get a spot here in the match, completely null and void by the fact that Lashley wasn't even in the match.
Yeah. There was no build for Lashley.
There was zero reason for him to have lost at the Royal Rumble because here we are, exactly where we were planning on getting in the first.
But they didn't know that back then, so it didn't matter.
They were already planning on him winning the Elimination Chamber now.
But it was supposed to be end differently, so it all mattered at the time, but it doesn't matter now because
it was still going to end the same.
So,
but we didn't know that back then.
We knew that we did. Everyone else did.
Well,
you might have been the only person who
did,
didn't.
but they didn't.
No, it is kind of like the Raiders thing due to Lashley.
Yeah. One long, convoluted journey for a month.
I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of gimmicks, and I've seen a lot of people act. But Lashley looked hurt. He looked like he was legitimately rocked, and they definitely needed.
I don't even know so much. See, I don't even know. So that's what because if you looked at the angle, it looked like the glass had trapped his leg.
And the camera kept flashing back and forth, so you couldn't get a real good look. I saw blood.
If you go back and watch the replay, you watch the replay of Austin Theory hitting, right? What you'll see is that last split second, Lashley wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
He was looking over here. Soon as he looks, he had stretched his arm out behind him to stretch his arms. And when he looked, his arm was behind him. When that glass smashed him, he led with his face.
Yeah. And then if you look, when he was seated, the glass panel that separated had his leg trapped on the inside trapped.
Because it came out, at an angle.
He probably tore a couple of muscles in his leg as he went down trying to catch himself.
Well, here's the deal. If you look at him when they're lifting him out of the ring, I was trying to look and see, okay, I know he's hurt.
Yeah.
How's he hurt?
Because he was putting weight on his free leg when they were leaving.
But the other leg, even the boot cover that he had on the leg was twisted to the side and looked like it wasn't pulled up all the way.
I hope he didn't break his fucking
ankle.
He
might have fucked up his ankle bad. And if so, that's off light because that looked like Concussion City to me.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, no, Lashley getting hurt, that
sucks.
This close to WrestleMania is shitty.
What sucks is you could have gotten more. You could have had Lashley work over Riddle and AJ. And you could have had Lesnar work over Theory and Rollins.
Yeah.
And you could have got some tit for tat, and you could have displayed Lashley's power as comparable to Lesnar's. And then the last two guys in the match could have been Lashley and Lesnar, and that's when Lesnar could have definitively beat Lashley and been like, all right, now I'm the fucking champion.
Right.
We ate everybody together, but I ate the other big guy in the ring. Instead, we got exactly what I said before. He beat up 4 dudes who are half his size, which again was always going to happen. And anyone who doubts that, I'm sorry, it's not about your work rate.
Austin, I would have loved to have seen what they had planned for Lashley.
I can guarantee you there would have been a whole lot of let me suplex him. No, let me suplex him. Now let me throw him through a cage. Now let me throw him through a cage.
One of those, anything you could do, I could do better.
That poor Austin Theory was bound and determined to get his ass whipped, one way or the other.
Instead of a mauling, it would have been a gang beating.
A physical.
He might have got okey doke twice.
Yeah, horrible.
He's very lucky.
All right. We've talked WrestleMania upcoming matches. We've talked the Elimination Chamber. We've talked Cody Rhodes leaving AEW. That's all the big news and the big coverage today.
Hold on. We do need to specify that now with the end of the Elimination Chamber, there is no more WWE pay-per-views.
On the road to WrestleMania.
On the road to WrestleMania. I now go into the WrestleMania tournament 2 points up.
2 points ahead. Max and I are still tied.
At WrestleMania, the announced matches so far are Roman versus Brock, champion versus champion.
Yep. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the women's title.
Right, Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair
for the Raw women's title.
And those are the only ones
announced right now.
Officially announced right now. We are going to see.
Oh, no, that's not true. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville for the Intercontinental title.
That's already been announced?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, they haven't announced it on TV yet, I don't think. They announced it on SmackDown Friday?
What?
I don't remember.
Johnny Knoxville?
No, because he just won the title.
From the taping. Okay, so that'll be next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the WrestleMania matches so far. Shaping up, card's going to be tasty. If we get half of what they're talking about, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I am going into night one of WrestleMania 2 points ahead.
It's a big road to hoe.
Now, that's where strategy is going to come in.
That's right. You got to see
keep
how these to make sure you secure your legacy for the second year in a row. So, all right.
Luke the Greek.
All of that being said, I do believe it's time for our favorite segment of the week.
That's correct.
It's time for birthdays.
Bullshit.
Max, take her away.
I'm going to beat you.
We'll start out with the big birthday. The Elimination Chamber itself turned 20 years old today.
20 years of the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And they said they've had, 29 chamber matches?
Something like that. Debuted at Survivor Series in 2002.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What was your favorite Elimination Chamber?
It's hard to beat the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to see Austin Theory getting his ass beat the way he did.
Jesus Christ.
It was kind of fun. I got to go with the first one. Michaels returns, beats Triple H, wins the title in the Garden, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
I think the build for that.
The build was great. Eric Bischoff's 2 tons of steel, 20 miles of chain, blah de fucking blah. They had the best cast in it, in my opinion.
No, you're right. What year was the one? It was Chris Benoit, Jericho, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, and I want to say Snitsky. It wasn't New Year's Resolution 05 because that was John Cena's elimination.
Was that before?
We have somebody in the chat.
Paula! Hi! It's my robot, Paula Mori. I'm so glad you tuned in, hon. Thank you so much. Either way, that one was my favorite.
The one with Orton and all that?
Yes.
Enough has to be said about the one with Goldberg. When Nash cut his hair and did it blonde right before he left as the Punisher.
Yeah.
Michael super kicked him and was like, perfect. Goldberg, of course, Triple H locking himself in the chamber and Goldberg kicking
smashing through it.
Fantastic.
Or when Kane grabs a hold of Jericho and Jericho's like, throw me through the cage or throw me through the glass. And Kane, goddamn right, you're going through the glass.
Right.
Fucking whips him through it. Okey doke some record.
Okey doke the hell out of
Okey doke son of a bitch.
Yep, Elimination Chamber turned 20 years
20
old.
years old. Very nice.
I'm officially old.
All right.
You were officially old before.
Now, let's get in. I think last time I did one.
Yes, he did last week.
I did win last time. Yes, I'm going to get this week.
All right. Let's see. On the 20th, it's tomorrow, right, I believe?
Yes.
Gail Kim will have a birthday.
Gail Kim's going to be 51 years old.
43.
About 44.
44.
Boom!
Damn. Good work.
That's right.
I thought she was way older than that.
Never guess a woman's age. What's wrong with you?
Shit.
The 24th. Shinsuke. Say it with me. Nakamura.
Hey, what up, Rob?
Not as good as Rick Boogs, but.
No, we're still live, Rob. We didn't miss anything.
Yeah, we're still here.
How old is Shinsuke?
35.
I want to say he's a little older than that. 42.
42 on the nose is what he will be.
You're welcome.
Ha ha ha, Stephen.
No, on the 21st is Carlito.
You know, he spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
I heard that.
Don't mess with, yeah, no.
Don't ever meet him, Caleb.
He might spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Yeah, I got a couple of those surrounding me.
Spit in people's faces all the time.
Carlito. Got to be in his 40s.
45 years old.
46 years old.
43, no point.
Damn.
Tried Price is Right.
Tried to Price is Right. Didn't work.
Price is wrong, Bob.
You're wrong, Colonel Thin.
Also on the 24th, Corey Graves will have a birthday.
Ooh, that one is going to be tough.
36.
Little Adam Levine. What are we?
37.
He will be 38.
Oh!
Price is right at that ass, baby.
What's the score set at?
2-1, bitch.
I don't have a whole lot of birthdays, so
That's right. That's right.
try to get them right, Luke.
All right, fine.
Hello.
Or Caleb, whoever. On the 25th, woo! It's Ric Flair.
God, 106.
Wrong, it's 111.
No, Ric Flair's 71.
74.
73.
73.
Did you say Caleb
71.
He was wrong. He's live.
Closest without going over. You cack sucker.
2 more wrestling birthdays.
All right.
All right.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on the 28th.
68 years old.
72.
69.
Oh!
This is bullshit.
Oh!
Shit's
Also,
rigged.
Norman Smiley.
Norman Smiley is
57 years old.
58 years old.
57 on the nose.
Damn it!
5-1.
Woo! Who's my biatch?
I think we've only got like 6 or 7 celebrity birthdays, so you got some
Better
work
catch
here,
up.
Luke.
Hold on.
Too.
Hold
I
on.
liked this pay-per-view.
Something has been brought up in the chat that pay-per-view was actually really well put together.
I liked
Yeah,
it, with the exception of the matches that we talked about not having been that good. I think overall the format of it had the Lita and Becky match been better. The formatting of the pay-per-view itself would have been perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The match itself sucked, which I totally
It
get.
had a great build to it.
But, yeah, it just that it was a
And
miss.
then it
That's
just-
all.
Yeah.
It happens.
Again, everything pales in comparison to Brock Lesnar stalking goddamn. I want to say Ethan Page. Austin Theory. Thank you.
How dare you?
I'll say what I choose. It's
That
my
was
channel.
like a
How
lion stalking
dare
a
you.
gazelle.
Sorry.
Like, he was
Yeah,
like,
just
the
hunting.
fact the more he run, Brock got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
like
run.
you
I
believe
like
he's
it that way.
genuinely gonna
Dude.
eat him.
If you keep running, you're just going to die tired.
Right.
I like my food.
It's best to just lay there and take it. All right,
Take it from Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right,
We know
back-
what's going on.
back to the finals, the finish of the show here.
All
What's the
right,
current
all
score
right.
again?
It's 5-1.
Who's in the lead?
Caleb's in the lead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to remember.
What is the score?
5-1, Caleb. Yeah. All right. Let's see. On the 22nd, Drew Barrymore has a birthday.
Drew Barrymore is 54 years old.
Drew Barrymore is 56 years old.
54, 44. Sorry. No, she's only going to be 47.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Younger than I thought she was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies, Miss Barrymore, if that is your real name.
Also on the 28th, the Punisher, Thomas Jane.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
wondering
Thomas
where he was
Jane.
going with this.
Oh, God. 53 years old?
54.
It's 50s.
53 on the nose, Caleb.
Woo! Sorry.
Enjoy this. It's not going
Oh,
to happen
I am.
again.
This happens all the time. You getting spanked?
On the 23rd, you remember Dakota Fanning?
Yeah.
She was just like a little bitty girl,
Yeah.
like when we started.
Yeah, she's 29 years old now.
Yeah.
30 years old.
28 years
28.
old.
Neither one of us gets a point. Damn.
You've been paying attention.
Happy
to
birthday,
your
Rob.
Facebook, haven't you? I know, yeah. See, if you pay attention to our Facebook, you'll know some of these
Yeah,
ahead of time. And maybe we'll have a competition where our viewers can get involved. I don't know.
That's right. By the way, for those of you who are just tuning in, we end every episode like this with the week's birthdays of wrestlers and celebrities. So if you're just tuning in and you're confused as to what this portion of the content is, this is how we close every
It's
episode.
how we blow off steam. Because
Yeah.
usually a lot of wrestling sucks.
And I always kick Luke's ass.
You do not always kick
Always
my ass.
kick Luke's ass.
I would like
Not
everyone
last
to
week,
be
though.
ready for their Danhausen punishment WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
Happy birthday, Ella.
We got 3 more birthdays here. On the 24th, I'd be surprised if you don't know this, Luke. One of your favorite actors, Billy Zane.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh, yeah, he's an oddball.
Okay,
because
so
you don't
because
really know.
he could either be in his late 50s.
He could either be in his late
in his mid 70s.
Right, you just
and
don't
you wouldn't know the difference. I'm going to say conservatively,
he's a mummy, so
58 years old.
57.
How about 56?
Damn!
No point.
So close.
And then on the 25th, we have Carrot Top.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is he still alive?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Surprisingly, right?
Holy shit.
Carrot Top's 52 years old.
Carrot Top's like a 55-year-old lesbian.
55? It's close enough. He's 57.
Damn!
Thank you very much.
Another one for Caleb.
Yeah, you just have
And
that
then our
Carrot
last
Top
one.
Yeah.
Last one is Sean Ashton.
Sean Astin of Lord of the Rings and the Goonies?
And
Sean
yeah.
Astin?
Bob?
Do you know another
Sean
one?
Astin?
How dare you?
Bob.
How dare you?
Stranger Things, man. He was awesome as Bob.
Samwise Gamgee didn't carry Elijah Wood through 138 miles of wilderness and lava to be remembered as Bob from Stranger Things.
No, he was known for taking Frodo's brick in his mouth. He's looking a little too hard at him at the end there. All lovingly and shit. I know two lovers when I see them.
Lovers of the
Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. What the hell's wrong with you? Sean Astin is 53 years old.
54 years old.
Sean Ashton will only be 51.
Damn. What's final score?
And so Caleb wins
Fuck.
Score.
Final score.
7-2.
Ow! I'm sorry.
Look, he smashed you.
That's my brick.
Good.
You
He smashed you.
You know
like
what?
Roman Reigns and Goldberg.
I seriously feel like I've been okey doke and I can't believe you, bro.
You have to do that to him, bro.
Quit treating me like crap, bro.
Now,
That little kid like that,
I
bro.
do like
Keep my mom's keys
I
back.
do like to try to leave everybody with a little bit of knowledge.
No, here we
A
go.
little bit of trivia.
every now
Batten
and
down the
then.
hatches. Here we go.
So we have Madcap Moss,
Madcap Moss, yes.
right? And then one of our favorite movies, Tombstone.
Yep.
Referred to Johnny Tyler. You madcap.
Uh-huh.
So I got to wonder and started looking at some stuff. What is a madcap? What does that mean? Where does that come from?
Well, what does madcap mean?
That's
Max?
an old term for basically your village idiot. The funny guy, the guy that's always trying to be.
Oh, so you're
tell
talking
jokes
about
and-
like in our community here, that would be Madcap would be like John Wagner.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. John
He ain't here to
Wagner,
defend
you old
himself.
madcap.
Fuck him. He ain't here.
That's right. So
Should've joined the
madcap
right thing.
is your sarcastic term of comedian.
Yes.
Okay? Your class clown, if you will.
Yes.
Your in-studio producer.
Why you gotta do him like that,
Why you gotta be like that,
bro? You ain't gotta be like that, bro.
Caleb? The fucking witch, bro.
Now you made him cry. Are you fucking happy?
Sorry, forgive me.
You know, fucking bubble and shit. Like,
She came down in a fucking bubble, dog. You look at me and tell me I'm wrong? Grow up, bro. Grow up. All right. Well, kids, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, we are not live next Sunday. We will be live the Sunday after, so you guys get a 2-week break until we return. And when we
and
return,
then we'll be back,
we'll
fuckers.
when we're back, we're on the final stretch that lasts 4 weeks to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Also, Thursday night, be sure Anna Fight Underground
Yes.
presents the Friends of This Business,
Yeah.
Anna, Illinois,
And if you're-
7 o'clock Thursday.
And if you're not busy next weekend, February 25th, 26th, and 27th at the Marion Culture and Civic Center, you can come see moi play Jekyll and Hyde in Jekyll and Hyde.
You get to go see
Yeah,
him
we're
okey doke
gonna-
people on stage.
Okie doke and sons of bitches left and right. So
You gotta do it like that, bro.
How much Caleb without his medicine?
that's exactly what it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, you can send us to it at yahoo.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment here, and as always, from us.
Please hit the like
Yes,
button.
please like,
Up,
subscribe,
up,
please.
upright. Look at this.
Yeah.
Right here. It's probably not there for them.
This
It's probably more. It's probably more.
is it over here.
It's probably right there. I
We'll
think.
get canceled.
What's going on here, man? I don't understand
What's this
happening.
about?
With this.
What's this?
Touch my hand.
All right. We've wasted your time enough, guys. As always, from us to you, please stay safe. As always,
Armor!
Why you gotta open up people like that? all the time?
do it.
Why you gotta do that, bro?
You're just a boy.
I'm just a boy, bro.